Well, welcome to a new episode. In this episode, we're going to talk about Psalm 1 and 2, which seems to have a biblical model for happiness. How can we be happy? And I want to put this again on the backdrop of the Korean landscape through my bike rides, because riding bikes seems to make me happy. But the Bible adds to my happiness with this biblical model. What can we learn from Psalms 1 and 2? Psalm chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man who doesn't walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand on the path of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in Yahweh's law. On his law he meditates day and night. He will be like a tree planted by the streams of water, that produces its fruit in its season, whose leaf also does not wither. Whatever he does shall prosper. The wicked are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore, the wicked shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For Yahweh knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked shall perish. Psalm chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the nations rage and the peoples plot a vain thing? The kings of the earth take a stand, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let's break their bonds apart and cast their cords from us. He who sits in the heavens will laugh. The Lord will have them in derision. Then he will speak to them in his anger and terrify them in his wrath. Yet I have set my king on my holy hill of Zion. I will tell of the decree. Yahweh said to me, you are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask of me, and I will give the nations for your inheritance, the uttermost parts of the earth for your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Now therefore be wise, you kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve Yahweh with fear and rejoice with trembling. Give sincere homage to the Son, lest he be angry and you perish on the way, for his wrath will soon be kindled. Blessed are all those who take refuge in him. May God add blessing on the reading of his word. So, what did we learn from Psalm 1 and 2? Well, in Psalm 1, verse 1, blessed is the man who doesn't walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the path of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers. So the first thing is who do you hang around with? I've really noticed this. If I hang around with grumpy, unhappy people, I become grumpy and unhappy. But if I hang around people excited about life, I become excited about life. It's who you hang around with. But then in verse 2, it says, but his delight is in Yahweh's law. On his law he meditates day and night. So what do you pay attention to? Well, if you concentrate on the Bible, God's law, this is something you should think about all the time. And then it says, he will be like a tree planted by the streams of water that produces its fruit in its season. So whatever he does shall prosper. Now, it may not be immediate. Like right now, you may go through something negative or something like that, but it says it will produce fruit in its season. It will happen. It will come. And then in verse 2, it changes a little bit and said, why do the nations rage and the peoples plot a vain thing? The kings of the earth take a stand, and the rulers take counsel together. Let us break their bonds apart and remove their cords. So why do people gather together against God? It's like if God's who he says he was, he's all knowing and all powerful, all loving. You can't get away from him. You can't get away with fighting him. So what's the point? Huh. And then one of the greatest verses in the Bible, Psalm 2:4. He who sits in the heavens will laugh. The Lord will have them in derision. It's like, what are you going to do to me? I'm the creator of heaven and earth. If I snap my fingers, you'll stop breathing immediately. You're really going to go against me? Makes absolutely no sense. And then in verse 5, then he will speak to them in his anger and terrify them in his wrath. You can only go so far. Uh, it says that, don't be deceived. God is not mocked. You can only go so far with mocking God, and you will get what you deserve. And it says, ask of me, and I'll give you the nations for your inheritance. So, what's the secret to happiness? Well, in the beginning, it says it's who you concentrate on. Don't hang around with evil, unhappy, mocking people. Concentrate on God's law, and then you'll know what to do. And whole leaders of countries, whole groups of people are going to gather together against God, but God's just laughing at them. There's nothing they can do to God. Choose the right team. If you choose the right team, you'll do okay. You know, give sincere homage to the Son, lest he be angry and you perish on the way, for his wrath will soon be kindled. Blessed are all those who take refuge in him. He's the only one we can take refuge in, and that's what's going to bring us happiness. Choose the right team. I hope we continue to learn together.